I am here today with one of our managing partners, CJ Sengupta, who is one of our lead thinkers on a topic that I think you're going to hear a lot more about from Everest Group, systems of execution. And it's very much tied to where we are today in terms of the evolution of automation, agentic AI, and data. So CJ, real quickly, how are we describing, or what is it that we're describing as system of execution?
Sure. Katrina, thanks so much for having me here and very excited to be talking about systems of execution. In a nutshell, systems of execution are systems which execute business processes. And if you really think about advances made in data and insights, we have had a lot of insights coming in and a lot of recommendations, but it still takes a lot of human intervention to process them and take action. Systems of action promise to be autonomous and not just automated, and drive far greater autonomic execution of business transactions and business processes. So that's it in a nutshell.
Okay, so this is not necessarily a new concept, right? As we've watched technology evolve over the last 15 years, that's been sort of the storyline, right? You're going to be able to do more with less intervention. So what is specifically, what is unique about this time and this capability that warrants calling it something new? What's new here compared to where we've been?
Sure. So let's take an example, and this is a real life example. By the way, for our audience here, we recently did a webinar on this, and I'd encourage everybody to take a look. There's a lot of detail in there. But to answer your question, Katrina, think of an example where you are running a logistics and supply chain operation, and you have systems which do demand forecasting with a great deal of intelligence and accuracy that pre-exists. You also have a separate system, which does inventory management with a large degree of automation. And then you have a delivery system, the last mile to the customer. Now, all of them have some native intelligence built into them, but what systems of action can do is they can get the data to talk to each other across those disparate systems, creating much further impact across the value chain and driving true straight-through processing with disruptive value. The second thing that I'll say is that within that same context, imagine things change. There's a new set of business rules that get implemented. In typical process automation, what we have had right now is that it would require a whole lot of rewiring of the system. But systems of action tend to be goal-driven and tend to learn context all the time. So it's dynamic, it's adaptive. And that's a big, big needle shift from what we have had by way of traditional process automation.
Yeah, okay, I can see where this is headed. We're heading to a point in time where there's far fewer exception handling because the system is built to integrate the exception as part of the workflow. Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so listen, this is a great introduction. Thank you. I will include the link to the webinar replay in our newsletter so our audience can go and click and get all the details. So thank you very much. I'm looking forward to hearing more about this in our research. And thank you for joining us.
Absolutely. Pleasure to be here, Katrina, and love to talk more about this.
Great. Thank you.